When you visit Dublin, it's easy to fall into some of the same tourist traps that others fall into. But I'm here to help you avoid some of the stress and avoid some of those traps. In this video, we're covering 10 mistakes that other tourists might make that I'm going to help you avoid. Stay tuned. Mistake number 1, wearing the wrong shoes. For one thing, there are some areas like Temple Bar that have cobblestones, which are charming until you twist your ankle. But the best way to experience the sights, the sounds, and the smells of Dublin is just by walking around, hearing the accents, the laughter, and the buzz. Nobody's going to notice what's on your feet except you. And if you're wearing the wrong shoes, you're going to know all about it. So take my advice, wear comfy shoes. You'll thank me later. Mistake number 2 is visiting all the popular sites at the busiest times, trying to go early in the morning or late in the afternoon to avoid the crowds. After all, you don't want to be spending time standing in line waiting to see stuff when there's so many other things to explore. The third mistake is downing your Guinness right after it's been poured. If you've never been to an Irish pub before in Ireland, you might not know that there's an art to pouring the perfect pint of Guinness. What you do is you watch as they pour the first half into a tilted glass, then you leave it to settle. They will later come back to that carefully poured pint, topping it off with the smooth, creamy head. Now, before you bring it to your lips, watch as the swirling brown bubbles settle into that distinctive black and white. Then you know it's ready. That creamy top isn't just for show, it's a rite of passage, so enjoy. If you're going to enjoy a pint in an Irish pub, you need to understand that Dubliners take the pouring of a pint of Guinness very seriously. It's one of the unique pleasures of having your pint of Guinness in Dublin over anywhere else. Mistake number 4 is forgetting to adjust how you cross the road. Now, when you're driving in Ireland, unless you're from the UK, Australia, or Japan, you'll have to adjust to driving on the other side of the road. But here's the thing. This also applies to crossing the street when you're walking. Many tourists automatically look in the wrong direction and step out without realizing that traffic is coming from the opposite way. In the city center, you'll often see signs painted right on the pavement that say look left or look right to help guide you. But as the locals like to say, always look both ways, because between taxis, buses, and cyclists, things can get pretty busy. It sounds simple, but it's one of the easiest mistakes you could make here and could be one of the most dangerous. The 5th mistake is trying to use dollars. In Ireland and most of Europe, the currency is euros. Dublin is very card friendly. Even so, some smaller cafes, markets, and older pubs still prefer cash, and ATMs could charge you a steep fee if you're withdrawing from a foreign card. Now, what I advise is that you keep about 20 to 50 euro in cash for small purchases, just in case. Also, when paying by card, always choose to be charged in euro rather than your home currency. It usually saves you money on exchange rates. The 6th mistake is not being prepared for the change in weather. You need to wear layers and have a small umbrella handy with you. If the wind is so hard that you're being blown around, just make sure to get inside. No point opening up your umbrella, you'll be blown away. Look at it as an excuse to visit a pub or a cafe. Now, a lot of places joke about having 4 seasons in one day, but I can tell you, Ireland really does. It can be overcast over breakfast, rainy at lunchtime, and sunny again by dinner. It doesn't actually rain as much as people say, but the trouble is you don't know when it's going to rain or how heavy it's going to be. So be ready for it so it doesn't ruin your visit. I always say there's no such thing as bad weather, but inappropriate clothing. The 7th mistake is not booking ahead. Some of the most popular spots get booked out fast, and if you're not careful, it can ruin your plans. Dublin's top attractions, like the Book of Kells, the Guinness Storehouse, or Kilmainham Jail, can sell out days or even weeks ahead, especially in the summer. Now, I've seen visitors show up expecting to buy a ticket at the door, only to find out it's completely booked out. My advice? Book online at least 2 to 3 weeks in advance for peace of mind. And if you can, book morning slots to avoid the biggest crowds. The 8th mistake is about tipping. In Ireland, tipping isn't as big as it is in the US. The servers are not actually getting their full wages from the tips, but it's certainly appreciated. So for table service, I'd recommend 10 to 12% is pretty common if you were happy with your meal. In pubs, you don't tip for every drink. Maybe just round up the bill or leave €1 or €2 when you're closing your tab. Recently, some places have been offering a choice of a tip on the card machine. It's always welcome, but remember, it's not required. Taxi drivers also appreciate a little bit of rounding up. Just remember, though, it's not mandatory, but it is a nice gesture. The ninth mistake is getting here and saying top of the morning to you. Nobody says that here. Now, if like me, you grew up and you saw ads with soap or cereal that had leprechauns and stereotypical Irish people, you might think that's what they say, but they definitely don't. So when you get here, just don't say that. No one says it here. Just don't. The 10th mistake is trying to do too much in one day. Now, this is the biggest one. Dublin and Ireland as a whole has a slower, more easygoing rhythm. Dublin's best bits are in the slow moments, stopping for a chat, enjoying a pint without checking your phone, or lingering over a cup of tea in a cozy cafe, sitting in a park and breathing it all in. Now, if you try to cram too much in, you're going to miss the whole spirit of the city. My advice? Pick a few must-sees each day, but leave space for the spontaneous moments. They're often going to be the most memorable. If you found these tips helpful, make sure to download my Dublin Playbook. It's a friendly checklist to help you from pre-booking all the way to packing and things to do when you get here. And if you like content like this about Dublin or Ireland, make sure to subscribe so that you can see the next video. I'll see you next time.